What's going on, everybody? It's the Air Raid Lord. I am doing another analysis video for an upcoming game from a trailer. I did this for Assassin's Creed Syndicate a few weeks back, and it had a good reception, so I figured I'd do some of these videos to kind of talk about upcoming games. I've done a whole bunch for Halo 5, as you know, and I want to kind of continue the tradition. I'm doing this one co-op, though, because my co-op partner does have a love and passion for this game series. You know him from many of my videos. He's no stranger. P-Dog in the house.
He is in the house. I think it's basically agreed on the both of us that Fallout 3 and New Vegas as well, but mostly Fallout 3 was one of the best games of the last gen, and so it's only fair that we were getting pretty excited for Fallout 4 on the next gen and seeing what it's going to bring to the Fallout franchise.
Yes. Now I would like to mention, I mean, you do have a PC, but you technically don't have the Xbox One and PS4.
No,
I was
later this year. I will be getting one of the two.
Yes. Here's the thing. When this game was announced, Bethesda listed on their website the games that they were going to be talking about at E3. One of the games, it said new RPG, but it also said, it was like, oh, new RPG for Xbox One, PS4, but then it also said new RPG for 360 and PS3. And so everyone, I remember when people saw that, there were some people who were investigating, thought, oh, is this game going to be on the last generation? I was hoping that it wasn't going to be, because I feel, in my opinion, last gen games are holding next gen games back, because game developers cannot take advantage of next gen graphics. Even if the game is on next generation, the game is technically made for the 360 and PS3. Like, it might as well just have been released on those consoles.
Well, look at a game like Witcher 3, where that game excels in that department.
Exactly. Yes, I'm doing an ongoing playthrough of that at the moment on the PS4, and the graphics are freaking ridiculous. You got like twitches and face animations, like, intricate character movements. You got night and day cycles that feel really kind of in depth. I want that from Fallout 4, and that's why when this game was being hyped up, no one really even knew this was going to be announced. I was hoping that this would be a next-gen exclusive, that it would not see the light of day.
I would think it would be a bit crazy of Bethesda to release this game and still be available. I mean, as much as I would love it to be like that, in which case I wouldn't have to buy a next-gen console, but I'm still going to buy one anyway, I still think it would be the logical move to push it on the next-gen and up the graphics, up the capabilities of it, and just all in all get a better experience of the game as a result.
Exactly. Speaking of which, I'll put you on the spot here just briefly. Pete he still has only the Xbox 360, and he's considering a new console, either the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. You can only get one, you can't get two like I have, but with Fallout 4 coming out, I just want to kind of put you on the spot. Have you thought about which one you're leaning towards with this game? Because I know for me, I'm going to say to my fans now, I'll be getting this game on the PlayStation 4, because the PlayStation 4, I know there's a lot of controversy, but the PlayStation 4 takes advantage of game engines. It excels the best, in my opinion. From playing games on Xbox One and PS4 over the months, I can say that with confidence, that I feel the PS4 will take advantage of the graphical engine. If this was Fallout 3, I wouldn't be saying that, because I think Fallout 3 had a lot of glitches and errors, problems overall on the PlayStation 3 version. I remember that. And they didn't even get any of the DLCs for Skyrim. I don't even think they got the Dragonborn. Yeah, because Skyrim had Bethesda had an exclusive deal with Microsoft to put their Skyrim DLCs out first. So even PC people.
I'd be interested if they still have that deal even on. Interesting.
But back to
PC is always the dark horse in this, because I remember I played Fallout 3. I played Fallout 3 in all three different consoles, because I had a PS3 for about half a year, and Fallout 3 was one of the games I played on it. I also played it on the 360, and then I finally played the Game of the Year edition on the PC, and oh my gosh, the PC is amazing in that case. But again, I think you'd have to have a pretty powerful PC to play the Fallout 4 on anyway. But in terms of, I have no idea which one I get it on. I mean, I know that the PS4 is probably going to have a slight graphical advantage than the Xbox One, but I still have no idea which one I'd go for. But I mean, once again, if they do have an exclusive deal with Microsoft, that'll make it a lot more interesting, shall we say. Finally, Xbox One.
Well, that'll probably be announced at E3, which is what we'll get to. I mean, it's going to really come down to the exclusives you want. Obviously, Street Fighter V was never supposed to be an exclusive, but now it's actually going to be exclusive to PS4, which was kind of shocking. But anyway, not to get off topic, I'm at the 15-minute mark of the trailer.
Holy crap! How long was the trailer? 15 seconds.
Oh, yes. Yeah, 15-second mark.
Yeah.
If it was 15 minutes, that'd be fucking.
Yes, we're gonna basically gonna run through the trailer. I'm not sure if you're going to in this video. I'd be very impressed if you do this. If in the video, if you're gonna play the trailer as we talk about it, so that the viewers can see.
Yes, I am gonna do that. Yep, done that. I've done that before for other trailers and stuff.
Fair enough. All right. Well, yes, fair enough. So because it's co-op, we may be a little bit desync, but we'll basically know roughly what section we're at.
Yeah, make sure to mute your audio so that
it is muted.
There's no echo. Okay, so if we're playing this at the 15-second mark, we have something. Actually, we'll pause it real quick. There's something funny. The Please Stand By and then the Radiation King TV set. I remember my dad watching that. He thought it was fucking hilarious. There's a lot of different references to nuclear stuff here.
I think there's a lot more relevance to the nuclear stuff in this trailer, even as much as the flashbacks that they show. Like in particular, near the end of the trailer, you see that mushroom cloud. But there's a lot of references here to life before the Great War that takes place.
So at the 34-second mark, we have our first flashback, and this is something that Fallout 3's trailer didn't do. If you want to kind of just compare that, because Fallout 3's, if you remember, it's inside like a destroyed transit bus, and then it kind of shows. It pans out, and then I think there's another trailer that's inside someone's home, like it's a commercial, and it pans out and you see the home's all destroyed.
Yeah.
Because I think people didn't really know the nature of Fallout, maybe, and I think Bethesda's this is a post-apocalyptic game, and it's trying to give you a different vibe. This, people knew going in it was post-apocalyptic, but I think showing them images of what life was before was an interesting tactic. Obviously, the opening music is the Ink Spots, the same people that have been featured in...
Were they in New Vegas? I don't think they were in New Vegas, but they were definitely in 3, obviously.
Yes.
They were the very first song played in the Fallout 3 trailer as well. Of course, the popular I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. I don't know what this song is that they're playing now, but
it's all over. That's the name of it. It's all over. Yeah.
vault-tec is reporting
okay, well, a lot of people have been devising their own theories as to why you think, and if there's even a theory behind it, but why do you think they keep on showing these flashbacks?
Okay, I have a theory. I'm going to say.
I have a theory as well.
All right, I'll say mine. Last night we were guessing that we had the same, but I'm going to say, I know this is crazy to even say, but I'm going to try and throw this out here. I think that you might get to play some sequences from the past. Not necessarily able to explore the whole area, but play segments. Like, let me give you an example. You know the Tranquility Lane from Fallout 3 where you kind of go into a simulated version of a 1950s town before...
Yeah, you think that's kind of like, that was a little taster almost of
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's not going to be full open world, and if it is full open world, it'll be just a layering. So what I mean by layering is they take the entire map of the area of Massachusetts that they're taking, which is the confirmed location. They're going to take the area of Massachusetts, have different structures, but like the same structure. So like that's why with this trailer, there's a house, and it has a coat rack. In the past version, it's standing up, but in the future, when everything's destroyed, it's like leaning over. So basically, from a programming perspective, have the same items that you program, but have them maybe in slightly different locations, or destroy them, alter them to fit this mold of a post-apocalyptic world. So that way it's not too much of like a programming hassle, so it's not like, oh, we're making two entire maps.
Massive flipping, and you know Fallout, like, especially if it's in the next gen consoles, you know the world is going to be huge.
Exactly. That's why I was going to go off on a limb and say that they might do that, because, well, it's next gen. I mean, we don't know what exactly to expect from next gen, but hey, we got, some expectations. Now, what was your theory?
Mine isn't as radical as that. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they're going to put that you actually will get to play and experience the moments before the Great War and the nuclear bombs. I actually think this is all basically. I don't think that it's as I don't even know if there's a word, but implicative, like it's not implying as much about the fact that they're playing, that you get to play beforehand. I think it's telling you that this Fallout game might take place before any of the other Fallout games. Like, you know the way Fallout 3 took place in, like, I don't know, 2280 or something. I think this one might take place a lot sooner, or like a lot earlier than those games.
Oh.
It's pretty soon, and they're just showing all this stuff because you're basically going to be living in like the immediate aftermath of it. Not the immediate maybe, but like a lot closer to the aftermath of it than the other games where people have just kind of like gotten used to it, and these settlements have been built. And I say this not just on the grounds of, oh, that they're showing you flashbacks, but also if you look at some of the models in this game, like the Protectron in particular, they're a lot newer, if you know what I mean. Like the Protectron's a lot more colourful, it's a lot more, you know, it looks like it moves a bit more quicker. I think it's basically showing stuff like that's what it looked like before the Great War.
That's an interesting theory, because I think
all the games that continued, you know, it's rusted a lot more, everything's a lot rusty, and that's why it's a bit more colourful in this trailer than any of the other ones. If you know what I mean.
Definitely. So two big things you said. Color. I was going to say that for the trailer overall. Compared to Fallout 3, where you kind of got like gray, these dark greens, like it's all just kind of, there's not much color. Even in the Tranquility Lane, it's black and white. I mean, so, and then you got blue, like interiors are very blue, kind of, when you do like the vault-tec stuff. This game had like a lot, like there's a lot more yellows, vibrant colors. Like they say when you're an artist on like a color wheel, they'll tell you the, you know, warm color, like the types of colors that you use. I think the artistic direction is kind of this vibrancy. I'm not sure where that's from the past or the future, but I definitely see it in the game. Your theory was interesting because, I should probably look this up, which year Fallout 3 takes place in. I know it's in the 2200s, 2228, 2270 something.
But I know it's about 80 years after.
Oh, I know, 2277. That was the year, because I memorized I don't know why I memorized the date, because in Operation Anchorage they say the bombs fell 2077, and basically Fallout 3 takes place 200 years after. So
I think this might take place in like the 22nd century then. In that case, it might take place in the 2100s, and that's why it'd be a very different dynamic from the other Fallouts, because in the other Fallouts you're so used to going into these establishments and everyone knows the drill. I think it'd be very interesting to see some of these establishments as they're being made. Like, you know, you don't know who's going to be, like, you know, the king or who's going to be the ruler of this particular settlement.
Boston.
I think that'd be a much more interesting dynamic to this Fallout game. I mean, again, that's pure speculation. Obviously, we didn't know.
Like in America, will it become like martial law before the bombs fell? Like, you know, like that's an interesting dynamic. You know, because most Fallout games is you just, you know, you kind of wander around. There's people to talk to, but like the vibe is that everything's ruined, and that you're kind of looking at history through the eyes of, you know, destruction, and the eyes of people that are still you know, salvaging off the land.
Yeah, and I mean, like, both Fallout games started off with a reason as to why your character doesn't really understand the already established settlements. I mean, in Fallout 3, you lived in the vault and you were expected to die in the vault, but you escaped and you had to venture out and you
your
saw
dad was taken from you. Yes.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Holy crap, that was bad. And then obviously in New Vegas you were shot in the head, so then you lost your memory. Like, this could be an interesting one where it doesn't have to give you a reason as to why you don't know what's going on, because it's early on in the aftermath of the Great War. So that's just my.
Do you think it seems like it's pretty much confirmed that the main character is another Vault resident, Vault 111? So it looks,
that'd be interesting.
Yes, it looks like he is this guy's another resident of a Vault who, I don't know his story though. What, you know, not shot in the head, not looking for his dad. What is he? You know, maybe that's the dynamic. Maybe. Oh, you know what? There's something I got to search right now. 1 second.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I'll say something here about the. Oh no! Unless you're gonna add some context. What are you?
No. Let's see. Yeah, you can keep going on the trailer when the dog comes in.
Continuing on with what we're going here. I mean, the flashbacks. It shows a Mr. Gutsy, as you can see. It's pretty. It basically confirms that those things existed, and they were basically. It's almost like, oh, what do you call them? It's almost like a Mega Man, where the robot masters were good until Dr. Wily turned them bad. Similarly here, all the robots look like they were pretty useful.
Okay, I found what I found what I was gonna. Okay, the leaked script Now, this came out in 2013. This was the leaked script for the beginning of the game, and it shows a picture of the protagonist here. I'm gonna actually show this image on the video. All you guys can see it. I'm gonna link it to Pete right here on Skype so he can see it.
I've seen this way back when, but I know you're talking.
The main character. Now, the reason why I know this is true is because the main character looks exactly like the main guy in the Vault 111 suit. It looks like the same person. Okay, and so reading this, it says. We see images of the world as it was in the days before nuclear war. We see images of the world in decline and international conflict on the horizon. Finally, we see the horror of a full-scale nuclear exchange in a world forever changed. And then the player actually has dialogue. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never see. He got his wish when the U.S. ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. But then in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. We now stand on the brink of total war, and I am afraid for myself, for my wife, and for my infant son, because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes. Does that not seem like that's before the war? That's like a plot that's before 2077.
Yeah.
That seems like that flashback part.
Do you think that's just him giving the backstory and not, do you think that's him giving the backstory or him giving the lead-in? That's what I'm wondering. Is he giving the backstory to where he's currently, living, which is what the player will be playing, or do you think he's giving the lead-in into what the player will be playing? Like, will he be playing this just before the Great War scenario? It could
be either way. It could go either way, but I'm more inclined to believe that it takes place before the events of the war, based on the last paragraph. We now stand on the brink of total war, meaning it hasn't happened yet, and I am afraid for myself, for my wife, for my son. They have a family. Like, this is before a post-apocalyptic survival of the fittest mentality. In my mind, it seems like. And then, let's see, then there's another leaked thing here. The player, and then the next document, the player has fought his way into the museum and reached what functions as a small redoubt for the mercenaries. Raiders have surrounded the building and are attempting to gain access. Preston Gary, man, I don't know who you are, but your timing is impeccable. Preston Gary, Commonwealth Minutemen. So who are these people? Oh, and then the player. No, okay. So this, I was going to mention this at the very end of the trailer, but I don't know if you and I want to talk about this. I'll ask you this question: do you think that your character will have speaking roles instead?
Well, it looks like it from the leaked script here, and also from the trailer, where basically, apart from the beginning stuff, it doesn't sound like it's coming from the player. It sounds like it's coming from some governing body or some presidential figure talking about the war. But then the second half of the trailer sounds like it's talking from the player perspective, and it's leading me to believe that yes, you will have a talking voice, which I don't know. I remember I was speaking to a friend of mine about this earlier. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of this idea. I mean, I always liked the idea of this here. Ron Perlman voiced the narrator in the previous 4 Fallout games. And he gave the backstory and everything, and I quite liked that. Because it basically showed, you basically were just being thrown into this world of chaos. It seems more this time, it's not as personal, you know what I mean? Because you can customize your entire character in the previous games, and you can customize your traits and all that. I'm a bit scared that it's going to give you this template character, and okay, this is the character, this Vault survivor from Vault 111, this is your guy, and he's not going to change, his voice is going to be the same, his appearance is going to be the same. And I enjoy it.
I'm not sure if this is controversial to say, but I almost would prefer that, because I like it when Bethesda. I mean, I like a little. Well, hear me out. I like the customization. All right, I like in Fallout 3 you can make your hair like Vanilla Ice. I like the customization, but I also like it when Bethesda tries to tell you a good story, and I think with the dynamics and the gameplay. Pieces that they're offering here from what is to be assumed, I think it's going to help, because there is speaking roles for RPGs, like The Witcher 3, which I just mentioned, but That's got speaking roles between characters. The thing is, in Fallout 3, every other character speaks except for you. You just click little dialogue options, and the game pretends that you're speaking them to somebody. And that's the same thing with Skyrim. Elder Scrolls and Fallout have had this formula, and I'm gonna assume that Fallout 4 is gonna be the first to kind of break this. Because consider this also, this is the first RPG made by Bethesda to be on the next gen. And I think they want to test this. So maybe when they make the Elder Scrolls, 6, the next Elder Scrolls game, maybe they'll have speaking roles. Maybe this is like a test for their RPGs to come to see if this works, in my opinion, Well,
I'm wondering then. I'm thinking back now, and I can't think of an RPG where the character actually has a voice and it isn't directly from his eyes. You know the way when you're playing a first-person shooter or whatever, you always see the stuff from his point of view, so you never actually get to see, like whenever you have a conversation with another character, like if you think of any games like Mass Effect, or you think of The Witcher 3, which is another one, like you always see, it's all third person.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's going to maybe like a cinematic camera whenever you talk to people then, or if you're just going to be staring at the character and speaking with your own voice, but like, do you see what I'm getting at? It's kind of hard to explain.
Can you change your voice? Maybe that's the customization.
That's a lot, though, to speak. I mean, if you've got to consider every single, how speak heavy Fallout is. Like that's a lot of dialogue to record among more than one voice actor.
They did that for Saints Row 4, is it? Yeah.
I mean that's got quite a lot of dialogue in it, and I mean so it's similarly with a game like GTA 5. I don't think that's the scale of Fallout 4 where like almost every option has to be covered by at least one voice actor.
Maybe that's why this took so long. Maybe they just gave like 5 to 10 voice actors the same script and just had them all do the same fucking stuff. Maybe they had them record them at once. Maybe like one guy said the role and then the line, and then the other guy. Maybe it was like a monotonous process of 2 guys saying the lines in like the same recording studio. I can imagine that. That'd be weird.
Like mass producing voice acting.
Go see the Protectron. Now your turn. Go see the Protectron. Now your turn. Go see the Protectron. Yeah, it's the same voice, different thing. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of these other things from this website that you just linked me. So you can only play as a guy. I don't think many people have complaints about that because I mean the general Fallout role normally is seen to be like a male perspective.
Oh my god, feminism, yeah. Gamergate's going to be introduced into this. It's about a husband. See, these are all theories made by Games Raider. You can only play as a guy. It's about a husband avenging his family. But all of these theories came before... Actually, this is a June 4th article, so this is actually keeping in mind. Because this is basically confirming... Because once the trailer came out, everyone's like, oh shit, those leaked scripts were right. So now that's our information for now. So that's I'm not sure, but let's continue with the
rumors been around for so long. So it's interesting to see it resurface again and seeing how much Tripp's actually in it after seeing this trailer. So basically, alright, so one of the main things we haven't talked about yet is the dog. The dog.
Alright, the dog at 40 seconds in, when he's going behind the kitchen.
Folks.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
I mean, a lot of people actually have criticized, how the dog looks. I think the dog looks pretty good.
It was ripped from Call of Duty Ghosts.
Really good, man. Yeah.
He's got like a tattoo in the ear. Like, remember at the fucking Xbox One reveal where they the dog has a tattoo inside the ear? I'm like, really?
Yeah, can you imagine if Bethesda did that? That'd be hilarious. Rip it off.
Yeah, that would be, if it was like a prank, like they ripped on the press conference.
Actually, I can see, you see the fact that this husband is avenging his family. All these flashbacks are showing this husband, and it's a husband doing all this stuff, so he's the one putting the baby in the crib, he's the one doing all that stuff. So what I'm wondering is, this is really confusing, so is this actually detailing potentially the main character's backstory, all of this stuff that they're showing here? Like his story, because I mean, if you continue the flashbacks, it also shows you a line of people trying to go and get into a vault, so maybe he's in that line as well? And it's just basically detailing his entire backstory in this trailer?
Oh, yo, what if this is the beginning, what if the first half of the game is in the real world, before the apocalypse, and then and then you go in the vault and then the bombs fall and then you come out and it's all fucked up. What if that would be...
I doubt it'll be the first half though of the story. I think it'll be it'll almost be the way the first chapter of Fallout 3 was inside the vault. That's probably going to be the same here in that case.
Oh, okay. Like you age as a kid, like you're a kid with the BB gun,
No,
and you turn
no,
into.
you start as the husband, and you start hearing news about the Great War happening. You get into the vault, and just as you get into the vault, the bombs fall, and no doubt Vault 111 is probably going to descend into flipping madness somehow, and then you have to escape the vault, and that's where this trailer allegedly
Do you
ends.
think he'll go into like cryo sleep so more time can pass, like from?
Maybe, but again, I don't think if he was to do that, time wouldn't pass too much considering the new look of most of these stuff that you see flashes of in the trailer, from what I can tell. Now that, again, that's my theory again of the game.
We've seen people do that. Mr. House, and then the guy who's in charge of Vault 112, like the doctor, the guy who made the Gek project.
Yeah, what's his face? I can't remember his name, some German name.
Yeah, they both were from the real world, and they like froze themselves so they could live.
Yeah. I know it's a common thing. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm showing that I'm looking at the dog here, running across. I mean, this is basically just all scenic routes. Yeah, so as you can see everyone running in the flashback again. So that's probably news of the first, of the nuclear bomb striking in like 24 hours or something. So everyone's running out of their house in chaos. Yeah. And also, look at the cars. Look how futuristic the cars look as well. Like if you see the cars, like especially that red one.
Which time mark are you at for this?
1, 2, 3. I'm at
the Mr. Gutsies. Oh yeah. Oh look, there's like an Enclave vertibird coming over at 122.
Yeah, and then just look at all the cars around here. Like you can just see, how.
Yeah, look, that's what I'm talking about. The color, like you don't see that in Fallout 3. That's just.
Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, there's the forest. Again, even if you look, not even at the flashback, if you even look at how the trees look in the and yeah, like you were saying, the color of it, like it's not completely grey. Even the sky is blue. Like that's something crazy. Like, you never see a blue sky in Fallout.
And like I was saying about like the coat hanger, like they in these flashbacks, you can take objects and compare them in a before and after sense, which again tells me that we'll be playing segments from before. Just my opinion again, So
yeah, and again, another thing that might support your theory is that I don't think Bethesda would go through the effort of rendering all of these pre-Great War clips just for the trailer. I think there's got to be something behind it, perhaps. But again, once again, all theory, speculation. I mean, we could the E3 reveal could happen, and they're make us all look like fools. And it'll end up being, the game is based in the 2400s, and there is no relevance to the backstory and all that.
Yes. All right, so all right, now comes the very interesting part, because we get to the part where the guy goes in the vault, and I'm at 137, okay, if you want to...
137, wow. Okay, yeah, just before we get there, of course, the Vault 101, again, it looks so colourful, the vaults. Like, I mean, again, the vaults in Fallout 3 and New Vegas are so grey, like, there's no colour on them, and you see that in it's blue and yellow, it's crazy.
Oh,
right,
it looks really nice.
That comes out of the vault. Okay, so now it comes pretty quick. So
now here comes some interesting. Now, before I go on, I just want to tell people that I live in the state of Massachusetts. Okay, so when this game was rumored and confirmed, because there was actually just as a bit of history, in my area there was reports from MIT and some local colleges that Bethesda was recruiting, and that Bethesda had been making camp out in Boston, and that they were taking pictures of different routes in Boston streets. And this was on the internet, but it was kind of spread around in the local news of the state when it was first going on a bunch of years back. Was it 2012, 2013? It was a while ago when this happened, which just tells you how long this game's been in development. But basically, I live in Massachusetts. I mean, I've been to Boston. I worked in Boston last year, and so I know a lot about the city. And so seeing this trailer, even with the new locations and the post-apocalyptic vibe, I can pick out locations that are real-life locations. I think Bethesda's renamed some of them, which I'm going to go over some that they have renamed. So if you're looking at 137, you see that building with like the columns right there? That is supposed to be the TD Garden. I've been there. It's like it's like kind of like a Quincy eatery. To the right where that tree is, there's supposed to be like a strip, almost like a strip mall that's supposed to be like attached, where there's like performers and stuff. And so that's what that building is supposed to be. Now let me see if we go on 139. That's supposed to be like a parody of like a Boston Tea Party ship from like revolutionary kind of stuff. If we were to look at 139, let's see here. And then
what about the streets then?
I don't know if this is in the trailer, but I know the Institute is in this game. Like, they mentioned this in Fallout 3 too, the Institute where they make a lot of the robots. That's supposed to be, obviously, a parody of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is, I think, where they did some of their recruiting. It's a major, major college here in Massachusetts. Very competitive, actually, right now. But I think that's supposed to be in this trailer. I don't know if that's at the 141 mark, but it's definitely... Alright, so 143 you don't really see. You see a Brahmin.
Yeah, of course, you see the Brahmins are back, and then there's a good old radio satellite. Again, if you want to be really confused, like a really picky about it, you can maybe say, oh, radio tower could perhaps suggest radio stations again. Which again,
can't wait for that. Now, 144, what do you think of that Protectron compared to Fallout 3? I'll get your take since I'm talking about it.
Oh, another scene just before of a few guys walking with it looks like a D-wheel train or something, or tram, to the left of them. Do you see that 144?
Oh, that's, that...
You reckon it's the strips?
No, the colors don't mean... Unless that's an orange line. So in Massachusetts, there's 3 lines. There's 3 main lines. Red line, which is like getting from points in Boston like to major locations. The green line is more like college routes, and so it's it's kind of like a concentrated offset. Orange is like a concentrated offset. Blue is to get to the blue line is to get to the state house and some government locations. And then the silver line is to get to the airport and some other locations that are along they all connect. It's a very well thought out system compared to New York's. It's a very well thought out system, but it looks like a bus. That looks like a bus though. That's what I thought. That looks like because those colors.
It's very long, and I don't see any wheels on it.
Blue, red, and orange. I don't believe there's a train unless that's like a state train for like the state line, and it's like but it's also part of like the orange line. Unless that's it, but I haven't seen. I haven't really. It looks like a bus to me though. I don't know.
There's might be indicators on top of the headlights. I don't know though. Okay, so I see the guys walking past. Again, I'm trying to zoom in really quick on those guys. They're like covered in shadows, so you can't really tell who they are.
I thought they were the Brotherhood of Steel at first glance.
Yeah, I mean they're walking as if they have heavy power armor on. So
yeah, and then
it looks a lot more new. And again, look at the colors in this. You got the red.
Rusted. Looks rusted. Look, it's got the little brown.
Of course, it's gonna be rusted a bit, but like it's not fully rusted like what the Fallout ones look like, where it was just all completely grey. I mean, it's got a lot of. It was a lime green. It looks a bit like very light green.
Oh shit, dude! You can see it. Oh my god, you can see it in 145. I never noticed this before. You can see the Prudential. I think you can see the Prudential Tower. Now, to explain what the Prudential Tower is, it's one of the tallest. It's like it's almost like a mall center in Boston. It's one of the tallest buildings and one of the most recognizable. The building I'm pointing to. You see the barbed wire, like where the Protectron is, the barbed wire that's to his left.
To the right of it?
To the left of it. It's not to the right. It's a building that's gray. It's not the tall building. It's not the building that's taller than it. It's the building right next to it that's gray, and you can barely see a little antenna sticking out of it. Can you see that? It's like a gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the right side of the building, it's a little red. The architecture looks exactly like the Prudential Center, which is, again, I'm going to put some photos in here for you guys, like of real life Boston, to kind of give you guys a comparison of what this stuff looks like. But to me, I didn't ever notice that. Wow, that's new. Also, something you can comment on, the cars. Look how much color they have in the post-apocalyptic.
Again, the cars are very colorful, and again, they look a lot more futuristic than the other ones, because playing the older Fallout games, I always thought the cars were very kind of olden. So I guess those were just the futuristic cars, but again, very rusted and very like colorless. I guess in this game we're going to see a lot more color in these cars.
Exactly. 146. I don't know.
What on earth is that crawling on the ground? That's how I always want. That's how I've always.
It looks like Rad Scorpion maybe? No.
It looks. It looks a bit. It doesn't look like a Rad Scorpion unless its stinger is like huge. Because the thing on his back is a lot bigger. I think that may be just a new enemy and they're like teasing it. Maybe, but it looks kind of interesting.
But look at the desert. Look at the desert effects. Like instead of just being rocks, like there's so many rocks in Fallout 3. Not much desert. Look, it's like the grass with the desert. Look at it. It looks fucking.
Yeah. Any comment, by the way, on the stuff at the top?
The highway. There's a couple of major highways in Massachusetts. You got 495 and you've got the Mass Pike. I don't know where that is in relation. So if there's signs in the game that say it, then that would be it. But
see a few buildings on the bridge, which is making me think that maybe it looks a bit like a settlement almost.
yeah, it looks like people set up shop on the bridge because it's probably destroyed. So
I think in a lot of the roads, in particular in Fallout New Vegas, there's a lot of settlements on the roads. Like I know there's like Nipton and stuff, and etc. All those places.
Oh, and I think we've got a view of under the bridge at 147 when there's the dog running, and it looks like the bridge is broken. If you see that, I think
Oh yeah, I see that.
So that's probably one of the main.
Later on in 147 into 148, you see the big daddy of them all.
Oh, fucking Death Claws are back, dude. That looks like hell. Look, where the hell is that?
I mean, look at the color difference between all the other stuff we've seen, and then you see that.
You see, that's why people. I don't understand why people. That's something I was going to mention at the end. Why are I see so many comments? Maybe not so many, but some people. Oh, the graphics don't look impressive. It's like, well, first of all, this is a trailer. Okay, if we've learned anything, especially from Watch Dogs, trailers do not represent what the final game is. Okay. Second of all, there is such contrast in the colors and the atmosphere, if you want to call it that, of both the past, the future, and different areas in the future of the post-apocalyptic world. This doesn't look like one shade throughout. You go watch Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, it looks like it's the same shade. Like it's all, rock, gray, blackish kind of, like in the whole trailer. This, to me, I got a totally different vibe from this trailer, and I think you'd agree with me, Pete, on that one. That,
But yet it still feels like Fallout despite all of that.
Yeah.
To get us all the locations. So again, this looks like I don't even know what it is. This almost looks like where one of the nuclear bombs would have hit exactly. Like we see the radiation pool in front of the Deathclaw. You see the little radiation pool.
There's a power line down in the background,
power line down. I think this might be one of the areas where there might be like what the White House was in Washington D.C. where it was just a big crater.
Yep.
I think this might be there might be craters around Boston, like maybe that was one of the main places that got hit. Sorry, Chris. It might be one of the main places that got hit by
It was my hometown, yeah. I live only like 40 minutes from Boston, yeah. No, my friend, actually, me and my friend who live in my hometown, we were joking that our high school or something would be there. Oh, dude, I would flip. I would fucking, go so apeshit if some, location that I knew, some, maybe Cambridge, Lexington, Concord, Cambridge. There's a lot of different towns I've been to in Massachusetts, and so, yeah, if it was outside of Boston, that'd be fucking insane. So, let's see.
I do see some swings in the background. It's giving me, a mad Terminator 2 vibe, like the nuke scene from Terminator 2.
At 148, it looks like an Enclave ship landing near a satellite.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really to say. I don't think here.
Not much to say about that.
Yeah, okay, here's an interesting one. You see, it looks like feral ghouls running in a shop that looks a lot like the what do you call the Super Duper Mart? That's the one.
Yeah. Oh wow! I can't believe you remembered that. I couldn't remember that. Yeah.
It looks a lot like the supermarket kind of thing from there. Nothing
like
really to
zombies from Black Ops. Look at the way they're running.
If they are feral ghouls, they look a lot different. Like they look a lot more pale and a lot more zombie-like, I guess.
Let's see.
Again, nothing really to say there.
Super Duper Mart.
Physics
Okay.
of the trolley flying.
150. Okay.
See, everyone screamed Megaton. I remember whenever they first saw that.
You know what that is? I know what that is. It's Fenway Park. It's a baseball park. Look at the guy with the baseball bat. Fenway Park is home to the Red Sox, which is the team from city of Massachusetts. Boston Red Sox. They're not really doing well this season, but they have renamed that. They're not calling it Fenway Park. What are they calling it? According to the wiki, Diamond City Surplus is the name of it.
Diamond City Surplus.
Fenway Park is renamed Diamond City.
Well, that's interesting.
Because you see the little baseball player. That's actually real. That's big. David Ortiz. They have a statue of him. Is it David Ortiz? There's someone. No, not David Ortiz. Who the hell is it? Oh my god, it's the most popular fucking Red Sox player. It was back in the 40s or something. He was one of the first black players in Massachusetts. Oh my god, I'm gonna get crucified for not saying that. But there's a statue of a baseball player outside Fenway Park, and that's how people knew, because you've got the park and then you've got the little guy with the baseball bat. So that's
I didn't even notice that when I first. I just thought it was just a random cutaway clip.
Yeah. Not Megaton. Yeah, that's an old.
Yeah, it's probably all the people that work from Boston, including me. It was just like, whenever they raised up the entrance, it looked a lot like the entrance to Megaton.
It might be like Megaton. Maybe they turned the the little maybe it's like it's no longer like for a Major League Baseball park. Maybe they've turned it into something else, after the apocalypse.
And everyone's worshipping it. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see somebody walking past. There's another Enclave iBot flying by.
Oh, yeah.
And again, in the backway areas here, very like interestingly lit, and a lot of backdrops and all this stuff. Big buildings.
Oh my God! Wait a second. Does that say what I think it says? What does that say below? Are you looking at 151 paused? At 151 where do you see the name of the store to the left? It says Swatters.
Yeah.
What does it say below in white? The white text. What does that say?
East. I see EAST. So East. I know Eastern. It looks like
Easton. Okay. I don't want to say this just because I don't want to give my location away, but I'm going to say this to Pete in the chat.
Oh boy.
And you're going to flip when you see this.
Oh my goodness. Alright, well that's going to be...
Yep.
I'm sure that'll be an interesting comparison once you see that.
Yes, Easton is a town that I'm very familiar with. It's in Massachusetts, and I just told... Yeah, I've been there a lot, so yeah.
This little preview, because this is actually one of the longest shots here. And then you see... Yeah, if you just see some of the shops here, you see a chem place, Chem I Care. That's a pretty cool name.
Chem I Care. I don't know what that other one is. I know that's Swatters Baseball.
There's another baseball guy within
Power
baseball.
Noodles.
Swatters, I think that is the place with the baseball.
Yep.
With the baseball with the nails in it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of stuff over there. Again, a lot of baseball stuff because obviously there seems there's baseball stuff everywhere here.
Massachusetts loves their baseball. Red Sox are a big thing here, so.
And of course it pans up and you see all the big massive buildings. Now, can you explain this next scene, the one with the big fly ship?
That's Paul. So the statue is Paul Revere, and that is in Boston. That's a statue. You could go there. And so that's basically over, I think it's near the State House, I believe. And so, that's the Paul Revere statue, who rode in the night to warn of the British, and, the whole revolutionary story that goes with that. So, there's that. Wait, let me look at the thing here.
Okay, yes, so I'm currently at the...
Freedom Trail, that's what it's called. Where Paul Revere, that's called Freedom Trail. It's basically a tour you can take of Boston, and it starts... You can have it start near the Paul Revere statue, and you can take a tour of Boston through it, so...
Yeah, there's a few more stuff. Like, you see the guy flying up.
159, looks like a Brotherhood of Steel guy for sure.
Yeah, and you see the big skyline shot, and then it fades into this other skyline shot with that looks like a mosque to the very far left.
Very far left. Oh wait, that mosque? That's the State House, dude. That exists today. Yeah, it's a big golden dome. I remember when me and my roommate Jack, who's also been in my footage, we were doing. You come right off the Green Line actually, and at Park Street. It's called. That's the where you get off at the Green Line, Park Street, and then. That's where Charlie Baker is, the governor. That's the State House. Charlie Baker, our governor, and that's where he operates.
Charlie Baker's going to be around in this game, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't think he's 95.
Now, what's weird is outside the State House, it's supposed to be a big park and then the subway. And I'm not really seeing that here. I'm just seeing a lot of buildings. So maybe it's behind it on the other side. I'm not sure, but it definitely looks geographically kind of different from what I'm. So it's not a mosque. It's
there before the very end.
Yeah.
But then the vault. Interesting enough, the vaults now go down, which is interesting. Previously, all the vaults were inside like big rocks or like caves or.
Oh yeah, it's like a little like trap.
Now the vaults are like on the ground, which is it's more traditional. Like the most of the time bunkers were underground.
Yeah.
Seems like traditional here. I just love the shot just before you see the mushroom cloud. You see everyone with their like suitcases and bags and stuff.
Yeah.
As they're getting to the vault. And then, of course, they turn around and the mushroom cloud happens, and then they all probably get slaughtered.
And then this segment after, I must give the music credit. I really liked how they remixed the Fallout tune, and you showed me the video of the guy doing it on the piano, which I'll link because I think it was a pretty good video. But I really like how they kind of, executed the end of the trailer here. So let's see what we have here at the end.
And then you see the dog walking into the garage. You see the new Coca-Cola machine.
Yep.
And
There's a bobblehead. You see near the fan. There's a bobblehead. 220.
There's a minigun underneath a cover, which is interesting. There's a wall of guns back there. You can see it looks like a grenade, a laser rifle, of course. I don't know what that thing is in the top left of the wall of guns.
I don't know. Is it like maybe a baton or an EMP grenade or something?
It looks pretty big. As you can see, there's just a lot of there's comics on the magazine rack. There's a lot of Coca-Cola memorabilia, ammo boxes.
Yo, okay, you know what this looks like? This at 225. It reminded me of a Borderlands 1 for whatever reason. Because it looks like that first area you go to with Claptrap for whatever reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got like a Borderlands 1 fucking flashback when I saw this. I was like, what the hell?
And again, it seems like it keeps on showing you this your baseball weapons, because I just noticed this there now. It looks like it spells the word red on the top of the garagey type area that the armor's in. You see that? It's like
so Red Sox, if that's
maybe something like that. And then obviously there's a red chair. And again, look just how colourful it is outside as the dog's looking towards you. You just see, the blue sky, the terrain. Again, it shows quite a lot of different terrains in this here. Like we've already talked about. We talked about the inner Boston. We talked about this your outer area. We talked about the really the crater-esque area that the Deathclaw is roaming around in. All pretty unique. And then of course the dog runs towards you. You pet the dog. You see the pit boy in the wrist again. Mm-hmm. Again, nothing really surprising.
You got a hunt. It's very similar to the Fallout 3 trailer. You got a hunting rifle.
A hunting rifle sitting there. And then the guy says, "Let's go, boy."
Yeah, well, I think that at the end confirms with the voice thing because your character talks. In Fallout, and the other Fallout games, he never said anything, and so
let's go. And also, it's because he was kind of covered in power armor the entire time, so you never really heard him or saw him speak anyway. Yeah. And then they're about to walk out, and then Fallout 4 comes up here, and that's it. Trailer.
What the heck? That is it. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, another question a lot of people have been asking, is the dog, is there some sort of significance of showing the dog a lot in the trailer? Like, a lot of people are suggesting that it might be like a permanent companion, almost ironically, a Call of Duty Ghost comparison, or Babel? Wasn't it Babel also has the dog with you the entire time?
Yeah, you can have a dog in Fallout 3, but you have to find it.
They're suggesting that maybe this dog has been around the entire time, perhaps. Yeah.
It's almost like an I Am Legend where Will Smith has his dog during the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, good comparison. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, you start off with the dog, and obviously the dog's probably going to die towards the end.
Spoilers!
Probably. Oh my gosh. Dogs can never flipping survive stories, it looks like. Like serious, mature stories.
Course, yeah.
But yeah, so that is the trailer for Fallout 4, basically, and I've already told you my theory in regards to the flashbacks and all that.
So what do you? So what would you say? Are you? Were you disappointed? Were you impressed? Were you?
Oh, I hated it. Wowed. Every second of it. It was a disaster.
Let me just say, in relation to this trailer, here's the thing. I didn't even think. I mean, I had my doubts about Fallout 4 even being announced. Obviously, I wanted to. But once they had the trailer for Doom, the Doom trailer, I was like, and there was also talk about Fallout 4 not even being, because people had received their invitations to the Bethesda press conference, and there was no mention of Fallout 4 because it mentioned all the other games that were going to be there. So I guess this was just like a guarded secret from the public, because I just leading up to this, I just didn't even think that Bethesda was gonna. I was thinking, maybe in 2016, I don't know. I wasn't thinking. So when this trailer came out, I was kind of just overjoyed. I was like, wow, it actually happened, kind of thing. I'm like, all right, cool, and so I'm stoked. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking whine like a sissy. I'll wait till E3. They'll probably have gameplay of this, and I'll look at the gameplay. I don't know. Do you want to do this again when the fucking?
Well, yeah, we probably will, considering the amount of stuff that will probably be revealed at E3. I know they're most likely going to reveal quite a lot of new information, a lot of maybe they're going to completely agree with or not agree. Maybe they are going to do our speculations and theories. Maybe they're going to completely forget about them and go a completely different route. We never know. Will Vats be back?
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be a showcase. They're going to show off their VATS, which I think VATS is going to be back. If you have a Pip-Boy, I'm going to assume that.
Come on, of course.
I'm wondering if they're going to change it, maybe, like if they're going to alter it a bit, because we only ever saw one version of the Vault of the VATS, and that was in Fallout 3, and the exact same in New Vegas. So I'm wondering if they're maybe going to change it up a little bit in Fallout 4. That'll be interesting if they do. Just to see some of the more general things. Will we have sprinting? That's another important thing, because that's one of the biggest complaints that I heard people that didn't have the PC Fallout 3 complain about. There's no sprinting in the game, which I can understand. But
sprinting. Oh well, they had sprinting in Skyrim, so
yeah, so they'll probably throw it in Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. Sorry, but yeah, they're probably going to announce a lot more stuff in the E3 press conference, and no doubt we'll probably be back here talking about all that.
Yes,
stuff
I was gonna say. Last year I didn't take any. I was just looking on my channel. I didn't take any footage from E3 last year. If you guys remember, 2013 I went, so all of my vlogs were in person, and then I did like a perspective video. 2012, 3 years ago, was the last. And those were the first videos we did together. Was the last time we kind of did E3 stuff. I'm thinking of throwing this idea out to you about maybe kind of running it back to what we did in 2012 by kind of maybe reviewing the press conferences, and maybe reviewing the Bethesda press conference, and in reviewing the Bethesda press conference we can talk about the Fallout 4 gameplay, if that's something you'd be interested in doing.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I'm not as up to date with the video game stuff as I was in 2012. Like in 2012, I had the main console at the time, and I was playing quite a lot of not quite a lot of the new games, but I was playing the new games and stuff. I'm more and more falling out of touch with it because I don't have any of the next-gen consoles for the Microsoft or Sony press conferences. But the Bethesda one, I'm sure I can still get behind because, Fallout 4 is still the game that I'm really anticipating.
At the very least, we can do Bethesda if we don't want to do the other ones. Maybe the Microsoft one since you own a 360.
I did a random video last year with Matt and Zach. Literally, I didn't even mean to make a video. Me and Matt watched it live together like we do every year. And then Zach came on and I just recorded our conversation about E3, or not E3, but about the Microsoft press conference there.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that video and I was like, I wish, because I was at work, I was like, I wish I could have joined in.
Recording, because the entire topic was just on that, and then once I started recording, I tried to keep on steering it into the directions I wanted it to. So I was like, so, what do you think about this game or this game? And they just went along with it, and then afterwards I was like, yeah, by the way, I just recorded all of that, I wouldn't mind if I uploaded it. And they were like, oh, okay then. So I'm not sure if I'll do that again. I'm not sure if I will, because it was just like immediate. Because we didn't really go in depth or anything, but it was literally just our immediate thoughts. I'm not sure if I'll do that again, or even if they're going to be there for it. But we shall see. But anyway, yeah. So this stuff was very interesting. I have high hopes for Bethesda, because Bethesda's one of my favorite gaming companies anyway. Because they never do a bad job, I don't think.
No, so, the only thing that I have to say that's consistent with Bethesda across Fallout 3, Oblivion, Skyrim, the game freezing and the crashing, the bugs. Are we going to go on a limb to assume that they're going to be prevalent in Fallout 4?
I think they probably will be, but it's going to be very hard for them to get rid of it in such a big open world like that. And I mean, some of the games in the next gen haven't really been very. Haven't really shown a lot of promise in terms of fixing game glitches or anything from what you're seeing in games like Evolve or Destiny or whatever, where you see game bugs and stuff. Or
Destiny was a piece of shit game anyway, so.
Of course. Is The Witcher 3 mostly bug free? Do you know?
Which game?
The Witcher 3. Do you know? Because that's a pretty open world game. Is that pretty?
The Witcher 3 had an update today. I was actually taking some footage for it earlier today. It seems to be fine. CD Projekt Red does a good job. The Witcher 1 and 2, I think, really didn't have that many problems. The only reason I mention the bugs is because, when people think of Fallout RPG or Bethesda RPGs, there's always a bug associated. You could search Skyrim bug, Fallout bug, Oblivion bug, and you'd come up with some ridiculousness, So
I remember that hilarious flipping Fallout New Vegas bug whenever you were creating your character and his appearance, and the guy's face was really corrupted in the official preview. I'm not sure if you saw that video before. It was an old school video in 2010 that was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember watching it way back. I haven't seen it since 2010, but yeah. Alright, well, thank you guys. That's it. That's the Fallout trailer. Thank you guys for watching. Again, comment, let us know if you want to see this for E3 in 2 weeks. Wow, E3's already in 2 weeks, so.
Yeah. So share your thoughts about Fallout 4, the trailer. maybe your theories about this year. If you're going to tell us our theories suck, please provide us with your theory as well. We would appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. So thank you guys. I'll probably overlay all the images and stuff that we talked about here. I'll put a link to the trailer, obviously. I'm going to have to mute it because if I don't... Well, I mean, I have to because you guys need to hear our voices, our glorious voices on this. But because in the past, I've been able to get away with uploading the trailer if I do commentary as long as the trailer's muted. So then there's no audio. It's just the image, the moving video. So...
Well, we talked quite a lot about it, so...
So, yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys, thanks.